Good morning, and I believe we're live November 20th, 2018. And I've rearranged my setup a little bit. As you may have noticed, I'm not drawing flat anymore. I am on a bit of a tilted surface, which is actually better for my back. The laying flat and leaning over was beginning to stress my back a little bit, so I had to reconfigure this morning, and we'll see how this works out. But anyway, welcome to you early risers who keep me company in the morning when I do a drawing. I appreciate your company, and we're going to get on this Superman drawing here in a minute. Just want to say thank you to Ron. He picked up the finished Wolverine drawing yesterday, so congratulations on that, Ron. I did get a hold of Ryan. He was just giving suggestions, so that is in your stack of stuff to either get mailed out or pick up when we can meet sometime again. Good morning, Big Easy. I am going to try also and monitor the chat a little bit better. Good morning, Tater. Good morning, Ron. I was just telling, hey, Ryan, gonna try to look over to the chat a little more often, because yesterday when I had the replay on, I noticed there were, I think, a few questions or a few comments that maybe could have had an answer by me, but I didn't see them, and they just they got lost in the shuffle. So I'm going to try to, when I need a quick little break or something, look over at the chat and read it a little more in depth. So for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, my name is John Beatty, and I am a veteran comic book artist inker of over 25 years, working for both Marvel and DC on such titles as Secret Wars, Captain America, the Nam, the Punisher Limited series, the original Punisher Limited series, Return to Big Nothing, Punisher graphic novel. At DC, I did 8 years of Batman work with Doug Minch writing, Kelly Jones penciling, and me inking, which included 3 years on the monthly Batman book from 95 to 98. So that's a rundown of some of what I've done, and I'm going to get drawn so that we'll have a little less talk and a little more action, I guess, is if we want to say that. And y'all can let me know how you feel this new look is coming across. It seems a little brighter. I think I don't have any, just my normal lights, but it seems brighter, but not like blown out like like I kind of noticed yesterday when I had my table lamp directly on me. So we'll see how this goes. What I intend to do, I suppose, is try to work a little bit on the actual drawing, get a little inking done, take a quick break, and handle questions at that point. That way, I can kind of stay on task here and get to the questions maybe in a grouping. So if you don't get an answer right away, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying something different. Whether it works or not, I don't know. That's why we're experiencing That's what I'm going to experience this. All right. Just a little explanation for y'all. Favorite Superman artist, Ryan asked. Wow, that's there's quite a few good ones. I did do uh, a stint on Adventures of Superman twice, actually. I think I did 8 or 9 issues over my pal Jerry Ordway, who is a fantastic Superman artist, and I did 2 issues over John Byrne, who I considered also a really good Superman artist. But traditionally, I would probably say I also inked Kurt Swan. That's right. In Action Comics, there was like they were doing and boy, I'll tell you, I was kind of not ready to ink Kurt Swan at the time I did it. Um, I that's sometimes you look back at some of the stuff you did and you're like, hey, I could have done a lot better now. Um, I did I did as I did as well as I could at the time, but in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, yeah, I would have liked to have had that back to do. So, having said that, a way to get to your answer in a long way is, yeah, I really like, of course, I like Neil Adams. Neil has a certain way with Superman, but maybe even beyond Neil, my favorite is I'm probably gonna have to say Garcia Lopez. Phenomenal all around artist, but really had a touch with Superman. And I am partial to my friend Jerry Ordway. I think he also brought a classic look to Superman, and just was a wonderful person to take over in the classic the classic look when he was handling the book in the 80s and maybe into the 90s. So uh, Garcia Lopez, Jerry Ordway, Neil Adams, those would be uh, my top. Yeah, I like Tom. Um, I saw Tom at a couple of conventions this year. Uh, Great guy, and man, he can really knock a drawing out pretty fast and very well too. I really appreciate what he does. The Fleischer Superman cartoons were fantastic. Yeah, they I think they still hold up even today. They got that real classic look to them. So you're not gonna you're not gonna have any argument from me there. Camera is a little bit, maybe a little bit higher away in a sense, because when I put it down here, I got a lot of dead area, but overall, it gives me a little more maneuverability. I'm noticing that, so trying to keep that in mind as I work on the drawing, so that it's not completely getting out of the picture for you all watching. And not quite the point I want. Good morning, Luca. How are you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I think as I go forward this week, I had no real plan for characters. So I think I'm just going to try to maybe mm, do some characters that I haven't done in a while, such as Superman here. Hadn't done Wolverine in a while yesterday, so that was a good one. But in having a brief text conversation with Ron last night, I think he kind of stumbled upon my where I want to go next week as far as a theme. Um, and I think that's going to be bad guys, but it's going to be cosmic bad guys, such as Thanos and Darkseid. And there was another one he mentioned, Apocalypse. So if there's anybody else I'm missing, could you please leave it in the comments below? That's the best way for me to remember it. So if you know what, we'll we'll see. I'm thinking Galactus also. He's always kind of a lot to draw, so to speak. Um, but I think he might need to be in that grouping. So if there's anybody else you can think of, though, like I said, please feel free. Put it in the comment section. I'm gonna, you know, I'll make my notes from that a lot easier than anything else. So almost like World Eater bad guys next week, I think. Ryan, put them in the comments. The chat, the comments are a lot easier for me. Doc Ock, no, that would be more like if I do a Spider-Man week, villain week or something. I want big bad guys. I want, like I said, Thanos and Darkseid and Galactus. That type of world eater, so to speak. So hopefully some of that will make it to the comment section, and I can get 5 of those. Maybe I'll skip Thanos. Thanos rather. Don't know. Just I actually have a watercolor portrait of Thanos that I'm going to be starting soon for somebody that commissioned me. So that's why I'm thinking I may not do Thanos next week, because I'll already have a Thanos going. So it might be one of those things where I'd rather just concentrate on the watercolor painting of him. Oh yeah. Okay, Ryan. I just saw your comment where you said, "Oh wait, cosmic." Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. That's why I said I got to kind of instead of glancing over at the chat, I need to read it a little more. That was one of the things. That was one of the things I wanted to practice this morning, and kind of let myself already get away from that. So I do apologize. Now, to be completely honest, Superman is really um, not one of my favorite characters. It never has been. Uh, visually, I like when somebody draws a really good Superman, but I don't know. I never gained a lot of I guess. I don't want to call it love, but for the character. And I don't know why. I He wasn't one of the beginning characters that I got interested in, so perhaps that has something to do with it. But, for me it was Captain America, so everybody has their the thing that got them into comics, the character, the series, you know, maybe even an artist or writer. Hey, Luca. Well, to answer that question, which I will read, seriously, what's the difference between Clark Kent's face and Bruce Wayne's? There should be nothing. It's an illusion. Yeah, Clark Kent wears glasses and, he doesn't walk as upright as Superman, thus making him appear a bit shorter. He's kind of acts as a clumsy oaf. But other than that, you know, there's not a difference. There shouldn't be. I think it's just a matter of all things being, I guess, comic books. You just go with the illusion. You go with it. You don't try to, or at least this is just my explanation of your question. Is you just put you put your belief you know in the magic that the creators have you know laid out before you, and just run with it or not. So I mean, there's little things you can do. Like I said, they do. With Clark Kent, they've put glasses on him. They've made sure that he plays like a clumsy guy stumbling into stuff where Superman would never do that. And I guess that's part of the reason why Batman comes out at night, late night, after millionaire playboy Bruce Wayne would be in from maybe a night out on the town with one of his many girlfriends. So I don't know. That's just, I'm guessing for you. I'm just putting some thoughts down. If anybody else in the room wants to share their ideas, please feel free. Have a conversation. Put that comment in the comment section down below. Maybe somebody would reply back to you at a later time. So yeah, I mean, we could make the same argument for Captain America. What's the difference in Steve Rogers' face and Captain America's? His mask doesn't cover much. I think for the most part, though, I think they may have made Steve Rogers kind of known as Cap, right? I mean, I think for all intent purposes, he's he's well known, or he's known. He's known to people in his world. Well, that's true, Luca. As far as when they meet, uh, but that may just come down to who's drawing them. I would say if they're if they're in costume, there should be a definite difference. Um, to me, Superman should be taller than Batman, albeit not by a lot, but it should be visible. Um, Superman should also maybe be a little more thick. And by that I mean not like ripped muscle, but heavy muscle. Um, Now, in my drawing here, I will probably ignore that rule and give him muscles that look like bodybuilder muscles, maybe. I don't know. I haven't gotten down that far yet, but I try to, myself personally, I try to keep him a little bit simple. Sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I fail. It's all part of the process. If I was drawing the character on a regular basis, that's when you really get to know a character, and that's when you can work out those type of problems or those type of issues. You can become more aware of you know of that character standing next to someone. Like Wolverine. I think Wolverine's only supposed to be 5'4", but I've seen so many people draw him standing next to Colossus, and they're looking eye to eye, and it to me that's always a bit of a you know uh, a lazy artist not doing their job, not knowing the character. Good morning, Dr. Kaz. How are you today? All right, Big Easy. Take care. And yeah, Ron, you're right about the big square jaw. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. Now, I was going to tell the story, and your your comment actually gave me a perfect segue into it. So, I think I mentioned before that when I used to go up to Connecticut, um, my exec lived up there, so I'd go up and hang out once in the summer, once in the winter, uh, do some work, be able to go back in and out to New York City. And Mike Carlin was buddies with us and with Jerry Ordway. He would like to come out to Connecticut and hang out with us on the weekends, and so he would stay at Ordway's house, and then we would go out to some dinners, see a movie. He'd head back into the city on Sunday night so he could be back into work on Monday. Just came out for a friendly visit, nothing work related or anything like that. And this one time, uh, Carlin had mentioned to both what we will call chin artists, for lack of a better term, but that's a term. And um, Mike Zeck, good morning, Shannon. How you doing? Um, Mike Zeck uh, and Jerry Ordway were both known by Mike Carlin, editor, as drawing big chins. And he would always, kind of tell them, yeah, you guys, you need to cut these chins down a bit. They're getting too huge. Kind of funny, but maybe he had a point, but it was almost, and it wasn't, but it was almost like they were seeing who could do the biggest chin and get it through editorial. Anyway, Mike Carlin had a Far Side panel cartoon, and it was two or three old guys sitting on a porch and rocking chairs, and a senior. I think it said something about senior care or something like that, and I can't remember what the original joke was, but he took it and wrote over it, and basically the gist was it was Mike Zeck, Jerry Ordway, and Carlin himself. The three became the three guys in the rocking chairs, and uh, I think one of the old guys, had his arms spread out, like long, and he said something about, "Oh, that's nothing. I once drew a chin this big." And I think Carlin captioned something about, retirement home memories, Mike Zeck, Jerry Ordway, discussing chin art or something. But it was a lot funnier than what I just told it there. Of course, I don't have the visual to show, but it was just so clever that he found that Far Side cartoon, and it worked into a gag that had been around us. So he Carlin's very creative. He was always kind of doing stuff like that, fumetti type stuff, or taking a cartoon and switching a word or two so it related to a creator or something. All in good fun. You know, it was never mean spirited. So that's a good memory I have. They may have been all fans of Sergeant Slaughter, Ron. You know, as a matter of fact, uh, I I think Mike Zeck actually did wind up doing a Sergeant Slaughter drawing for something, and I can't remember what, but I believe he did do one. Maybe it was even. I'm trying to remember if they put Sergeant Slaughter in a GI Joe book as a guest star or something. If he maybe got in there, I can't remember. Ryan, let's see. I think Hugh Jackman caused the change in Wolverine's height. My theory. Um, that could be. I think I'm trying to remember. I think I only saw him as Wolverine once, and I'm trying to have a I'm trying to have a memory of. I think I think I remembered liking his performance, but I'm a little, I'm drawing a bit of a blank on that. And I'd like to say thank you for I did get a new subscriber yesterday. I do appreciate that. If I have to build them one a day, so be it. Slow and steady will win the race. At least that's what I've been told, and I think it's been proven. As Ron told me, if I build it, they will come. So I'm doing my part. Uh, let's see. I got a small bit of ink on my finger, which I'll get off, and gave a little Just a little smudge on Superman here above his brow. Let's see if I can't remove this. Yep, that's coming up. All right. I forget this ink still needs to dry. All right, Ryan. Thanks for stopping in this morning, evening for you, and yep, watch the replay and hope you feel better. All right, take care, and we'll see you next time for sure. Yeah, I kept thinking when we were in DC, I was just hoping I didn't get well, myself or my wife or son. I was hoping we didn't catch anything. So far, so good. So there was something going around. I think the week before we left, there was some little bug that seemed to be making its way around around my area here in Florida. And I gotta say, I'm usually fairly lucky, and if I get anything, it usually only lasts for a day or two. Um, and it's usually not that bad, but when I get it bad, it's bad. You know, I'm in bed. I'm in bed. I'm not moving. I'm getting my rest, and that's all I want to do. I just want to get it over with, get the bed rest, be lazy. If I don't really call it being lazy. I just call it, like getting the rest that I know my body is requiring. Somebody could probably say it's lazy, but I always think it's better to, when your body tells you to rest, give it the rest it needs. Hey, you're welcome, Ryan. I hope I caught you before you checked out. So, doing good on time. I was actually surprised yesterday that the at the time when I checked the Wolverine piece, let's see, I need to come down lower. Okay. Uh, when I checked the Wolverine piece, that I thought it was going to be around an hour, and it was only a little over half an hour in. Not complaining, just surprised. Nice surprise, I might add. Yes, Luca, I am using Windsor and Newton ink. Um, I like it. This is the one I use with the little spider guy on it. It's guy in a top hat. You find it impossible to use with a nib. The ink just doesn't flow. Well, that's interesting because I use it because I like my ink to be on the thin side for both brush and for the nib. I don't like the acrylic base inked ink and tacky ink, and I've found this to be uh, pretty good. I keep a little um, palette of it here like this, and I can add a little bit of water to that if I need to thin it down. You might want to try that if it starts getting thick on you. Uh, that would be my suggestion. So if you haven't tried that, next time it starts getting a little thick on you, just put a drop or two of water in there and see if that solves your problem. And if it doesn't, then let's see. Um, I also use an ink called Holbein, and I can't reach a jar of it right now. I don't think. No, I can't. But they make watercolors and stuff, and it's a permanent ink, waterproof also. So you might want to try it. It's and well, the Winsor Newton ink is expensive, and so is the Holbein ink. So I'm sure you're probably, uh, you're like me. You realize that an ounce of ink is about $10 $6 now when it used to be $1 and change. And probably less than that when I first started inking back in the 70s. I think I could probably buy an ounce of ink for under $1. But it's really gotten expensive. What do you all think of this layout, the way I have the camera set up? Can you all kind of give me some feedback? Do you like it? Is it not? Is it too far away? I know Ron had said one time he kind of liked to see the whole image, or maybe Ron said he liked it closer. So maybe this is driving Ron crazy. So I have no idea. Like I said, I'm still working out a lot of kinks for getting my live stream down to where I'll be able to just be able to come in and it'll be set up and just start rolling on it. But it does help me to get input from you guys, so looks fine, Shannon. Okay, appreciate that. Shannon, I do plan on getting to your couple of suggestions that you made to me. I might actually get to those this week because, like I said, I really had no plan, no theme thought out, which I don't have to. But it's kind of fun. So yeah, I've been thinking about hitting the ones up that you suggested. All right, then. We'll see if we can't schedule those for maybe, what's today, Tuesday? Maybe I won't do it Thanksgiving, but maybe I will. It just depends on, like I said, this week's kind of going to be messed up, but I'm still going to be powering through it because I really enjoy doing this exercise every morning. Um, you guys probably don't realize that I never sat down and drew like this each morning, but now that I kind of have a breakfast club here, so to speak, right? It's a lot of fun. Um, it's good for me. It's pushing me as an artist. It's a good exercise for me to do in the morning to have to have this to do because it in a good way it forces me to sit down and do something, to put something on paper, to get my mind moving. So yeah, I think it's a very good thing. I've been enjoying it, and um, I hope you all have. And from the support and everything that you all have shown me, I will assume that you all have, or you wouldn't be coming back unless there's just nothing to do while you're shaving or getting ready for the morning. But I think we're having fun, so that's the key thing. Well, I tell you, it's very light, uh, but and sometimes I can't even hear it. I don't know why, but well, I do know. Well, I don't know why I can hear it, but I do know now why. I forgot Black Friday is coming. Which did anybody besides myself realize? Oh, there's another one. Um, it's it's basically just every list I sign up for. Um, I forget. This time of year they're having their Black Friday sale and stuff like that. So you guys probably have the same problem with the email list. Black Friday, like Best Buy hits me like 3 times a day, I think. Dr. Kaz, the video is brighter, looks better, but it's upside down. The art appears smaller, further away, doesn't fill the screen as much. Yeah, you know what? I didn't check that. That is my bad. Let me see. You are correct, sir. So let me fix that right now. Thank you for pointing that out. I think it's okay. Let's see if this works. Oh, there's my shirt and stomach and jeans. All right, so I will have to. Well, that kind of got it bigger when I scooch it up on the paper, right? Now, don't want to mess with it too much because I'd hate to have this come falling down. I'd hate to have this come falling down in the middle of this. That would not be good. Actually, I'm looking at my kind of we'll call it the back end because I get live time. Uh, for some reason, that turn seemed to bring the piece closer, right? Is it is that my imagination or does it look like? Yeah, thanks, doctor. I think so too. Now I'm gonna go to the screen that you all are seeing, not behind the secret curtain. And oh, you know what? Uh, I I'm spinning. I got my phone, my other computer, and my laptop here, and everything else that can be connected to Wi-Fi. So I'm I can trust you guys, so I know if you tell me it's better, then it's better. And I can see in my preview that it does look better. So I'm gonna keep it the way Dr. Kaz has suggested. I'm following doctor's orders. All right. See, now the problem I have is I am also wearing my glasses. So the problem is my glasses, I need a new prescription for up close. And these progressive lenses I bought about 3 years ago, I have never got used to. I do have one pair of glasses just for computer work. It's about an arm's length distance, and I can tell that those are needing to be. Uh, I need a higher. I need a higher prescription. Oh, what I was gonna say. Boy, I'm kind of all over the board today. What I was going to mention was getting my YouTube set up. See, unless I have something to, you know what, guys, ta-da! This will solve that problem for a temporary measure, and I can even take it up higher. I didn't mean to change this around this morning. I did a few things, and um, like I said, all I wanted to do was have a surface that wasn't flat because my back was beginning to hurt, and I'm sure the doctor can tell you that my back has only started giving me problems in the past 2 years. I've been very fortunate, or maybe not. Maybe I just haven't paid attention to it, but it never hurt me until I started traveling to a bunch of book conventions, and I think it's the air travel, and the travel, and the sitting long hours at conventions, and not getting up and standing and stuff like that. But anyway, um, I'm just letting this dry for a few minutes. I need my wife, is what I was going to say. She is very good at, she can look at something and figure out the best fit for it. I'm good with color and decorating and stuff like that. But as far as like trying to figure out uh, how to fit furniture or something, I'm like horrible. I remember when I went over to the Philippines in 2007 for the first time to meet her. Um, she packed my suitcase going home, and when I got home, I was exhausted, and for like 2 days, I pretty much slept. I didn't open my suitcase, anything like that. When I finally opened my suitcase, it was immaculate. It was packed like the most beautiful thing you could have seen. Everything was just folded, just perfect, and it fit in like this suitcase was made for my clothes. I I don't know how she did it, but she did. And so from now on, when we take a trip, she packs because she even packs for me on my convention trips because typical guy that I am, I'll just throw the clothes in, they'll get wrinkled. Um, and, you know, they just, that's just the way it is. So, uh, she kind of got me out of that habit. And now I ask her, like, hey, can you pack my clothes because I need help? And she does. Um, but so yeah, I need her down here to give me like that other set of eyes on what needs to be moved around. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's going to be way too light, so actually I didn't use that much ink this morning, so I need some water. Yeah, luckily I can at least get in here now because she came down a couple months ago when she learned of her father getting sick, and I told her, I said, hey, why don't you come down to my office and hang out? So she did. And she kind of laughed when she came in here due to all the boxes and stuff just being in disarray. And she said, I'm gonna straighten this up. So I told her, okay, just be careful. And boy, I'll tell you, she got busy, and I was a better man for it because suddenly I could see the floor again. So when it comes to problem solving like that, she is very good. And that's why I say I need her down here to help me kind of figure out where I need to put stuff where it would work best for my streaming. Gonna have to get her down here. Shouldn't be too hard. She loves a good challenge of cleaning, so maybe I can convince her that that we need her down here so that everything is, I mean, I kind of know what I need for streaming, but it's putting it in place, and I get frustrated. She has a lot of patience with with it that I would not have. So let's all hear it for Bella to get down here and help me get this finally straightened out. Like I said, I am eventually going to do some painting because I don't like the colors that are in here. But again, that's an expense that doesn't need to be dealt with yet. That can come later. That can come next year when things are a little more conducive to that. But I do love painting walls. I like painting interior. It kind of relaxes me, and I don't use a roller. I mean I can, but I normally when I start cutting in corners with a brush, depending on the size of the room, even bigger rooms, I'll do it all in a brush. I know that's not proper form, but I just kind of get into it and relax, and kind of hard to believe that, I know some people do not like painting. I do not like yard work, so I think we all have our things, right? Okay, let me see if I'm still, I don't want to refresh. Well, you know what? I should refresh. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, hold on a minute, because I got to pop the chat back in. I need to refresh and see if I'm going to be able to, you guys could have said something, and I'm not going to see it because my stream here is just spinning. Let's see if I can get this reset. Okay, there we go. I think. Famous last words. Now I'm frozen. Come on, move. Thanks, Ron. Okay, I think I'm slowly getting my the weird thing is I can stream, but watching it is... Nope, I'm still spinning. I better get my window back that I can see what's going on back. And yeah, it's still moving, so I got something here. Let's see. One of these is not going to get tone. The yellow or the red. Well, the blue is going to be dark. I can print the same color as the hair. Okay. Well, I think I'll go ahead and do the red in the same wash as his face. Don't want to go really dark on it because I'd rather kind of hit the blue with my darkest tone. I hope I didn't lose anybody that was watching, unless they had to go to work. That I understand, but when I'm getting some other work prepared today, I'll be able to rewatch this and see if the stream went down at any point due to me leaving too many things on. That's not a good thing to do. All right, and let's see. S is red. Although, like I said, since I'm going to go a little darker on the blue, his hair, be the same blue, typical comic book colored hair, and the blue of his Superman suit will be the darker. Then this I don't want to go, I just want to keep it the same shade as I did the flesh, so that I don't get too busy on it. Just enough to give it some different tonal values. Also, the interesting thing is on these particular sketches, a lot of the inking like that I did in here with this brush, I kind of picked that. I'm not, I kind of picked that up from Jay Lee. I'm not as good as him at doing it, but I see why he does it. It covers a lot of area in one or two strokes, and it gives you these feathering lines that are very interesting without doing them individually. But for me, it's just learning something new. So that's also this daily exercise for me. It's entertaining, and it's kind of a way to do a quick learn, because I'm not taking forever. I mean, yes, I'm taking longer than I had initially planned to, but that's okay, because the return on my investment of time and getting getting techniques and stuff down, trying new stuff that I would have never tried before, that's invaluable. Ron, that's actually the way my friend Andrew Robinson, um, that's the way he works, and that's the way he instructed me. Is you basically do a full grayscale painting um, with all your different tones and stuff. Now, maybe not so much on the yellow and stuff, but if you excuse me, if you go back on my Instagram and look at the Flash portrait and the Doctor Doom portrait that I did for you, there is a gray wash before I put color on. And so what it does is you establish all your values, your darks and lights, and then you put the color on top, and it being a transparent medium, the color just shades down, or where you leave it white, it picks up the white of the paper, and bang, it's like magic. It's really kind of interesting. So that's how I've been using it. And my big fear is for this Friday, I have to paint 2 beards. Now, I think it goes without saying, I've never painted a beard. Well, I guess it doesn't go without saying, but I'll say it. I've never painted a beard. And hopefully that's not going to become a problem, because I thought about it for the longest time. I kind of have the layout of the drawing done. But my problem is, how do I do the beard and then do the color and stuff? Well, I did a little research online, and I found out that put the tones on the face down. Kind of paint the beard in gray, just like I'm going to do the other colors, only the beard will be a darker value on the face. And so therefore, when I put the color over, it will appear beard-like. But then the next step I will have to do is go back with a brush and add a little bit of stubble, to give it that hairy kind of texture and not just smooth. So almost like I'm doing this hair on Superman. I'll blend it in so that where his beard line, where Stallone's beard line and Reeves as John Wick, where their beards are, I will blend that like from a dark to a light into their flesh tones. Then when I paint the flesh over, it will automatically give me that darker feel of a beard. But then to make it stubbly, I think I'm going to have to go back and add some sort of technique. So you kind of yeah, I'm thinking a dry brush, kind of like this would. Let me see if I can bring this up higher to the camera. You can see that type of, but it'll have to be not even, I mean, it's got to be less than that dry brush. It's got to be a real super dry brush. A super dry brush. But that's what I'm planning on doing. And it could completely fail, but I think that's the the idea, and that's what I'm going to carry forward. So I guess since I think you'll be available to watch, you're off Friday, I believe you said. You'll be here. I hopefully you'll be here, and if I completely miss it, then well, it won't be for lack of trying. I think I might call Andrew. I was going to call him yesterday, but I had a few calls come in because of my trip. I had people call me now that I was back, and pretty much my day at around 11 o'clock got filled with phone calls. So, and that's fine. My friends were just checking in on me, and my sister was checking in on me, even though she's local. She'd taken my mother to the doctor, and she was letting me know what was going on there. and we talked a little bit. So anyway, you kind of figured it out. Yeah, that's exactly, because I even asked Andrew, he when he was here, um, just before New York Comic Con, and I scanned uh, good luck to you, Ron. Um, when he was here just before New York Comic Con and needed to scan a Spider-Man painting, he had one started that he's showing now. It's got Batman on it, but it's a crossover from some other um, company too. And he had like ink wash on it and black ink. And I asked him, I said, so let me ask you, I said, this is your like underpainting, right? And he's like, yeah. And I asked him, I said, so you can just put color over that and the color's going to come through and the gray is going to darken those colors. So you don't have to really worry about anything after you do your grayscale. And he's like, yeah, that's right. And I'm like, man, I got to try that. And then once I did that flash painting, I felt a relief because I finally did a watercolor that I felt was good. I I always admire people that can do very good watercolors, and I was never that person, and not that I am now, but at least I've done a couple, and I've got a third one coming and a fourth one. So I'm enjoying it. It's like this new uncharted territory for me. And so basically the watercolor led me to doing these drawings and adding a tone to them. So it all kind of is building upon each other. And like I said, I had it not been for me wanting to get out on YouTube and to start a channel and to have some fun and to share some, whatever I could with people and, just kind of make a something for me to what's the right word, perform on, no, uh, just be part of a community or something, the YouTube thing, then yeah, that's too dark. uh this is like really broadened my horizons, and this is still too dark. So it's like I said, it's really been a good experience. Boy, that's kind of right at the right color, but I gotta just pull a little bit off. So it's been good for me in many ways. And I just love that you guys are kind of keeping me honest, because I feel like we've connected on a certain level, and I feel like I want to be here and that you guys want to be here and um, share. So it's it's been, I gotta say, it's been something that I probably needed a long time ago, but just never happened. But you know what? It's happening now, so I am going to give it my best shot to keep running it. Hey, Don. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. It's getting a lot of light from somewhere. I can tell it's getting a little blown out when I put it up close to the camera. I don't think it's the camera. Uh, Maybe it's just the having it elevated and not flat also is bringing more light to it for some reason that somebody knows, but I don't. Okay, so I need to know, um, is this too far away for the camera? Would you all prefer it to be, would you all prefer it to be a little bit lower down to the artwork? Because I can do that. Hey, Ray Dog, what's up? Yes, sir. Back at it. Trying to trying to practice some new skills. Always learning, right? That's the way it goes. Traditional, digital, whatever it takes. So I think this is just about wrapped up, which of course will put a cap on today's live stream. And as soon as I can get this scanned and a thumbnail made, let's go ahead. Let me show you a little bit about what I was talking about, Ron. I think Superman could stand a little bit of this darker. Got to go fast though. See, so because I don't want it to look like a beard, but that's going to be the basic. Now I got to get my wash on it fast to move that around. That's kind of the idea of making the beard. And now we can move this darker color up into, woo, nice. Come on, give me a little dry brush effect here coming down. And a little color on the tip of his nose. So yeah, there we go. You get the kind of get the idea. I know that's thank you, Dr. Kaz. You kind of get the idea of what I'm going to be trying to go after um, on Friday. And let's see, darken up a little bit of this side of his S. And I think that's where I need to leave it. I think we'll call it complete there. Let's see. New angle looks good too. There's enough space to add pic inside of picture frame, top left. Yep. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. I think these are hitting about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Not bad. Having fun talking throughout. Makes it interesting. Um, let's see. So, are you wanting to add Superman to your collection, Dr. Kaz? Or are you just making a comment? Because it is available as of now. And I'm not sure if I will add anything to my store until um after Thanksgiving, just because I know everybody else is going to be out shopping. So those of you who stopped by, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You want to hit that bell for notifications. Let you know next time I'm going live. Please like if you liked, the thumbs up, and leave a comment, and I will answer you. Yep, I will be back at around 7 a.m. in the morning, give or take a minute or two. I think I was about 2 or 3 minutes after 7, because again, I was watching my wall clock, and then when I come over and look at my computer or cell phone, it always seems like it's ahead. So I appreciate you all coming out this morning and giving me that support and love. Thank you all. Have a great day. And let's see, tomorrow morning might be a day for Shannon. Might do one. He's got a couple that he requested. All right. So that's it from here. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. All right. Take care.